Hi guys, this is Gallifrey Customs and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the figures that I have created for part 1 of the season finale of the new season of Doctor Who, and the episode is named The Legend of Ruby Sunday. So as you can see here, we have the 15th Doctor, we have Mel, we have Kate Stewart, we have Colonel Ibrahim, we have Susan Triad, and we have Lenny Rush. I'm kind of doing a half and half of the figures that I just made for both episodes, both parts of the final. So there are some others as well that I will be sharing in next week's video. Funnily enough, some of them I'm actually 3D printing right now and working on, so that is why they're not included in this one. So yeah, this is the selection. Obviously as well, once I've seen The Legend of Ruby Sunday, hopefully we'll actually see some extra things that we haven't seen so far, and I'll quickly try and make some of those, hopefully, in order to include them in next week's video. But yeah, anyway, let's start off by taking a look at the 15th Doctor. So starting off with the 15th Doctor, and this is him as seen in his leather jacket and denim jeans and boots. I first saw this in a filming picture outside what is supposed to be Unit. So as soon as I saw that, I started making this, and I've made little tweaks and improvements over time to try and get it as perfect as I can. So the base of this is a 9th Doctor figure with boots from a Time Lord. Literally slice them off with a knife and slice the bottom of the feet off of the 9th Doctor and just stuck them on. The head is a 3D print from myself. Originally, when I made this, I just had the standard 9th Doctor's coat on it. Since then, I actually took inspiration from my good friend Rob, Mondas Productions. Please do check out his Instagram, his Twitter, his YouTube, everything. He's absolutely fantastic. But he made some adjustments to the 9th Doctor coat when he did his, and it inspired me with mine. So I've added the sort of belt bit, like the tassels of the belt coming down, and the little shoulder tabs as well. And yeah, I'm super pleased with how it's come out. It's using my latest 3D head. I've kind of done a few versions of this that have had different 3D heads on it, but this is my kind of most up-to-date version, which I will show you up close. And I'm super pleased with how well that has come out. Difficult to get into focus. But there we go, so that's the 15th Doctor. So let's move on to Mel. So next is Mel, and this is one that I'm not overly happy with, but one that I would like to go back and improve at some point. Really, I just wanted to have a Mel in this costume ready for when the episode airs, so I kind of did a bit of a rush job on it. But the torso, the arms, the hands, the head are all 3D printed, and I designed that from scratch. It's got a little bit of articulation on it. And then the legs are a combination between a Sarah Jane Adventures Sarah Jane, and the lower legs are from a Series 2 School Reunion Sarah Jane. And yeah, it's come out alright, but I think I can do better. I think at some point I might get a Primeval Jenny Lewis and use that for the torso instead. I just happened to not have that when I decided to make this, but I think a Primeval Jenny Lewis torso would be absolutely perfect with the same legs as I've done on this, and I'd be really chuffed. It might be fun as well to do a swappable head with the Vesper helmet on, so that I can try and hopefully print off a motorbike accessory or Vespa accessory. That could be quite fun. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to Kate Stewart. So here we have Kate, and this was a very quick one that I made. So this one is using a torso of a school reunion Sarah Jane. The legs are from a Yasmin Khan, and then the head is obviously a 3D design that I've created and printed and painted. The jacket of it is actually a 12th Doctor jacket cut down. I have painted the buttons on here, but really I need to actually sculpt buttons and put them on. But it was just a very quick throw it together, ready for the episode. But yeah, I'm super pleased. I had to cut down the torso, make the torso shorter, so that it looked like she's got high-waisted trousers on, and I did sculpt on the trousers and extended them a bit as well, just to make sure it does have that high-waisted look. I think it does look a little bit hunched over, but I'm not overly fussed about that. It can be easily hidden in a display, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to Colonel Ibrahim. So next is Colonel Ibrahim, and this is one that I actually made for the 60th anniversary, and I have thought I'd include it in here because I didn't include him in my 60th anniversary videos. But it's essentially a half-pec body with Roman arms, the like Series 4 Roman soldier that came with a Pyroval, and then the head is from my good friend Kit, who is Doctor Who UK on Instagram. Do check him out. So yeah, this is his 3D printed head. Funnily enough, around the same time as he brought his out, I did design my own, but I wasn't overly keen on mine, so I bought one of Kit's, and mine is a head never to be used again unless I decide to try and fix it up and redo it. But anyway, yeah, so that is Colonel Ibrahim. I do at some point want to redo the arms because I think the arms look a bit short, and Colonel Ibrahim's quite muscular, so I want to try and make his arms look a little bit more sort of hench. So I'm thinking I might use the arms that I used, the 3D printed arms that I designed for the 15th Doctor from Space Babies. I might repurpose that and try and use those on this to make him look a bit more in proportion. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to Lenny Rush. So unfortunately, the segue doesn't actually stand up very well, so I've put Kate and Mel behind just to prop him up. But this is Lenny Rush, aka Morris, from the final, and we don't really know very much, but supposedly he's a scientific advisor, so interested to see why he's there and why Shirley Ann Bingham isn't there. But anyway, so this was a completely 3D printed kit that I designed. It comes apart in multiple pieces. It has shoulder articulation, elbow articulation, hand articulation, head articulation, and then the rest of it is fairly static, and he just sits on top of the Segway and holds it. But I can, and I will, if I take these out, he's going to fall over, but that is fine. I can take him off the Segway so that he's just standing up. Should stand up okay, fingers crossed. But there we go. I very stupidly knocked my camera, so I had to cut. But anyway, this is Lenny, and yeah, he does stand up on his own, or you can put him in the Segway and sort of prop it up against something. I did think I might try and do a little small resin piece that sits underneath the wheels to make it stand, kind of similar to and I'm going to be really annoying here and not remember the name. There's a droid in Star Wars that was in The Rise of Skywalker, the last one. I think it's DDO, I think it's called, the droid. But basically, when Star Wars Black Series, when Hasbro did a version of it in the Black Series line, they put a tiny little plastic piece in it that sits underneath the wheel, and it just makes him stand upright on a display, which was really cool. So I thought I might do something like that just for fun and to make it stand on its own. But yeah, otherwise, I'm really pleased. I might change the head a little bit. I'm not overly pleased with the head sculpt, but it does its purpose just for now. Anyway, let's move on to the big baddie of the season, as we think so far, which is Susan Twist. So the final figure is Susan Twist, or Susan Triad, as she is supposedly known in this episode, according to the cast listing. And what do we know about her so far? Not very much. So obviously she appeared for the first time in Wild Blue Yonder as Isaac Newton's maid. And then we heard the mention from Mel in The Giggle of Triad technology. Then in The Church on Ruby Road, she was a lady in the bar that Ruby was performing in her banding, and she heckled when the goblins pulled the wire out of her keyboard. Then we next saw her in Space Babies as one of the captains on the screen that was used to control the space station. And then Devil's Cord, she was the tea lady. In Boom, she was the ambulance. In 73 Yards, she was a hiker. In Dot and Bubble, she was Lindy Pepperbean's mum. In Rogue, we saw her as a portrait painting on the wall. And yeah, that is the story so far. So I'm sure we will find out over the next 2 weeks who Susan Twist is, and whether she's evil or whether she's good, or what has happened with her. So obviously this is played by Susan Twist, is the actress's name, and as it's going to be revealed in the final, and the casting list says Susan Triad, I'll assume that this is just Susan Triad is the character's name in general. But yeah, this was done using quite a combination of parts. So I believe the torso that I used was a Sarah Jane, the B&M one in the combats. The legs and the upper legs are from a Sarah Jane Adventures Sarah Jane. The lower legs are from a Donna Noble. The coat, I believe, is from a James Lester. No, I think it's actually a Tuxedo 10th Doctor. So yeah, the shirt is from a Yasmin Khan, and then the head is 3D designed by me. So this is one of the ones I'm most pleased with out of the bunch. I think it looks quite clean and seamless. I do want to go back and probably tweak the head and redo it, because we've had some better face-on pictures of her in the trailer and just in general in the series so far. So yeah, I would like to go back and sort of make a few tweaks to her face and just improve that a bit more, make it look a bit more Susan Twist, because right now it feels a little bit generic old lady rather than specifically being her. But yeah, that is it. So yeah. So that brings my video to a close. By now, by the time you've seen this, oh, Mel's arm has fallen out, but by the time you have seen this, probably you've watched The Legend of Ruby Sunday. So I would love to know what you all thought of it. Please discuss it in the comments below. Please let me know what you think of these customs. And if you've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment for more. Let me know what you'd like to see me do next, because, you know, once next week's done. That's it for my figure showcases for episodes of the new season. We're all done. But yeah, otherwise I'm sure I'll be doing lots more in the future. Hopefully we'll start to get actual character options products for the new season, and hopefully I'll be able to do some showcases of those. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon.